Welcome to Log Furniture How To, the most all-inclusive site on the net for log and rustic furniture, fixtures, and decor. That's logfurnitureHowTo.com. Hey everybody, welcome to the San Juan Carpentry YouTube channel. My name is Scott Schaefer, and today I'm going to show you how to make bar stool seats that are a butcher block style glue up out of thin strips of wood. So we're going to use up some of the not so great thin stuff to make a butcher block style glue up, and then we're going to cut seats out of it, and then we're going to put the seats on my bar stools here. And I'm going to call these bar stools big ass bar stools because they're for big asses, and I mean no offense by that, obviously. So yeah, let's get started. First things first, we'll be picking out the boards we want to use for this. If you're like me, you've probably got 1-inch stock and 2-inch stock, so there's two ways you can go about doing this. First option is to cut your 2-inch stock into 1-inch strips. Second option is to cut 1-inch stock into 2-inch strips. I've done it both ways, and I really recommend the second option. So I'm going to pick out all of my relatively straight and wide 1-inch thick boards for this glue up. Next, I'm going to join one edge of each board. If your boards have two live edges like mine, you can do this pretty quickly by using a joiner to take off about 1/8 of an inch of material with each pass. Now I'm going to run each board through the planer. It really doesn't matter how thick the boards end up as long as you have enough strips to get to your desired final width. To get the most out of these boards, I'm only going to plane each board just enough to get rid of the saw marks. Make sure your boards go through smooth, as the sides you're planing right now will be glued to each other and you don't want any gaps. Now with the straight edge, I'm going to set my table saw to 2 1/4 inches and rip my boards to create a few dozen boards that are 1 inches thick and 2 1/4 inches wide. The reason I'm cutting the strips 2 1/4 wide is because after I glue them up, I'm going to want plenty of extra material to take off in the planer, but we'll get to that in just a second. Now that all my strips are planed, I'm going to begin the glue up process. Glue dries fast and there's a lot of surface area that needs glue, so to apply it as quickly as possible, I'm going to set up my clamps and lay the strips down side by side. I then squirt glue over every board all at once and spread the glue using a small paint roller. You can bag the roller afterwards and it'll be good for a few more uses rather than throwing it away. With the glue down, I'm going to stand each strip up on edge and push them together. My glue up is 16 inches wide and my planer is only 12 inches wide, so I'm going to glue up 2 sections that are 8 inches wide. To do this, I'll put one stick in the middle with no glue on it. Give it a few hours to dry, and now I'm going to run both sections through the planer to get them down to a 2-inch thickness. By now, you'll see why we made them a 1/4 inch wide. We didn't use biscuits, and the sticks are so skinny that they tend to twist and warp a bit, so when we glued them up, they didn't exactly line up all perfect and flat. Running the sections through the planer not only smooths out the layers, it also flattens the entire plane of the board. Last step now, I'm going to glue my 2 sections together. I recommend either using biscuits or alignment clamps, as I'm doing, to make sure the sections line up flush with each other. I choose not to do biscuits because I'll be cutting circles out of this piece and I don't want to risk exposing a biscuit. Alright, so that's how I do a butcher block glue up. You can use this for a lot of different things like tabletops, countertops, and seats. I'm over here at Chris's shop where I'm going to use his tool and his sled to cut perfect circle seats. If you want to see the tutorial on how to cut perfect circles, which is what I'm about to do to finish these stools, go ahead and give a click on the gun show band, and that'll take you over to that video. Otherwise, please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.